Jack Thompson had spent most of his life in service to his country. As a young man, he had enlisted in the Marines, driven by a sense of duty and a desire to protect the freedoms he cherished. He had seen the world through the lens of combat boots and camouflaged uniforms, navigating the complexities of war with courage and resilience. After decades of dedicated service, Jack had retired from the military with honor, but the transition to civilian life hadn't been easy. Retirement brought its own challenges. Jack found himself navigating a world that seemed unfamiliar and indifferent to his sacrifices. The structured routine of military life was replaced by the uncertainty of civilian jobs and financial pressures. Despite his distinguished service record, finding employment proved elusive, and Jack often felt like a stranger in his own country. One sunny afternoon, Jack decided it was time for a haircut. His buzz cut had always been a symbol of his military identity, practical, no-nonsense, and easy to maintain. He walked into a small barbershop in his neighborhood, hoping for a quick trim to keep his appearance neat and professional. The barbershop was bustling with activity as he entered, the sound of clippers buzzing and laughter echoing off the walls. Jack took a seat in the worn leather chair, nodding politely as he greeted the barber, a young man with a playful grin and a trendy hairstyle that seemed worlds apart from his own. "Just a buzz cut, please," Jack requested, his voice a low rumble that carried the weight of years spent giving orders and leading men into battle. The barber, caught off guard by Jack's request, exchanged a knowing glance with his colleagues. They whispered among themselves, their laughter barely concealed behind their hands. To them, Jack was just another customer, a relic from a bygone era whose appearance and demeanor invited mockery rather than respect. As the buzz of the clippers filled the air, Jack closed his eyes, lost in memories of his time in the service. He recalled the camaraderie of his fellow Marines, the bonds forged in the crucible of training exercises and combat missions. He remembered the adrenaline rush of deployments, the moments of fear and triumph that defined his military career. But as the minutes passed, Jack sensed a shift in the atmosphere. The whispers grew louder, punctuated by snickers and mocking remarks about his appearance, his age, his worn-out clothes. He heard snippets of their conversation, their jokes at his expense slicing through the air like invisible daggers. Jack's jaw clenched in silent resolve. He refused to show weakness, refusing to dignify their ignorance with a response. His hands tightened into fists, the calluses a testament to the battles he had fought and the scars he carried, both seen and unseen. Finally, the barber finished, snapping off the clippers with a flourish. "All done," he said with forced cheerfulness, oblivious to the hurtful words that had been exchanged. Jack stood up slowly, his gaze steady as he met the barber's eyes in the mirror. "Thank you," he murmured, his voice steady despite the turmoil within. As he left the barbershop, Jack felt a mixture of anger and sadness wash over him. He had faced enemy fire, endured grueling training, and yet it was the thoughtless words of strangers that cut deepest. But as he walked down the street, head held high, Jack also felt a surge of determination. He would not let their ignorance define him. He was a Marine, a veteran who had served his country with honor and courage. His pride was unshaken, his spirit unbroken. And as he passed by a group of young men on the corner, their laughter fading into the distance, Jack knew that true strength lay not in the battles fought, but in the resilience to rise above adversity, to hold on to dignity in the face of disrespect. For Jack, the Marine's buzz cut was more than just a haircut. It was a reminder of the sacrifices made, the pride earned, and the unyielding spirit that would carry him forward, no matter the challenges ahead. In the days that followed, Jack continued to reflect on the encounter at the barbershop. He found solace in the memories of his fellow Marines, reaching out to old comrades and sharing stories of their time in uniform. They laughed about the hardships they had endured, the camaraderie that had sustained them, and the lifelong bonds that had been forged in the crucible of war. One afternoon, Jack received a surprising phone call from the owner of the barbershop. The man apologized profusely for the behavior of his employees, expressing deep regret for the disrespectful treatment Jack had endured. He invited Jack to return to the shop as his guest, promising to make amends and ensure that such behavior would never happen again. Jack hesitated at first, unsure if he wanted to revisit the place where he had felt so belittled. But after some thought, he decided to accept the owner's offer. He returned to the barbershop a few days later, greeted warmly by the staff who had been briefed on his visit. This time, the atmosphere was different. The barbers treated Jack with the respect and dignity he deserved, engaging him in friendly conversation and taking care to ensure that he left satisfied with his haircut. Jack appreciated the gesture, recognizing it as a sincere effort to make things right. As he left the barbershop that day, Jack felt a sense of closure. He realized that while the initial encounter had been hurtful, it had also sparked a dialogue about respect, empathy, and the importance of honoring those who had served their country. The owner's gesture of apology had restored Jack's faith in humanity, reminding him that there were people who recognized and appreciated the sacrifices made by veterans like himself. From that day forward, Jack continued to patronize the barbershop, forging a new relationship with the staff who had once mocked him. He shared stories of his military service, offering insights into a world that many of them had never experienced. In return, they showed him kindness and gratitude, learning to see beyond his appearance to the character and integrity that defined him as a person. As time passed, Jack's experience at the barbershop became a lesson in resilience and forgiveness. He realized that while ignorance and prejudice could wound deeply, they could also be overcome through compassion and understanding. Jack remained proud of his military service, wearing his buzz cut as a badge of honor that symbolized strength, courage, and unwavering commitment to duty. And so, the Marine's buzz cut became more than just a hairstyle. It became a symbol of perseverance in the face of adversity, a reminder that true strength lies not in physical appearance, but in the resilience of the human spirit. Thank you so much for watching this story. I put a link down below about something very interesting you'll like. Go check that out. Subscribe for more daily content. See you on the next one.